Oh, what's up, everybody? It's Strokefish here, and today we're here with some Draft Classic. I don't know if I've actually uploaded any videos for Draft Classic, but we're in Season 7, and I'm on spring break, so I have a little bit of more time than I normally do. So I wanted to record a Week 1 recap for all the Week 1 battles that we had. The only exception being the battle between Krakenation and Walt. I don't know how you say it. It's like WW Walt, so I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but yeah, those are the only battles. Hakeem won that battle. It was a good game, but unfortunately the replay is private, and Krakenation's not around to unprivate it. So here we are. We're gonna record all the other ones. So first up in this matchup, this is Pokeboy. Been around for a while in the Draft Classic community. Same with Zay, Testbasic. So this will be a fun game. Zay's team is really, really threatening. He's Megazam, Toxapex, Rotom, Heat, Zapdos, Galar, Serperior, and Umbreon. Pokeboy has Orbeetle, Aggron, Galarian, Moltres, Amoonguss, Landorus, and Dracovish. So very good teams on both sides. That's a Mega Aggron, by the way. So in terms of lead matchups, I'm thinking Pokeboy probably just wants to lead his either Orbeetle or Aggron, maybe Landorus just to set up rocks or just get some momentum in the beginning of the game. In terms of Test Basic, I would think he would want to lead something like maybe his Galarian Zapdos, does a good amount to pretty much everything on his team. Rotom Heat would also be really good, pretty much hits everything but Landorus. I don't think he would want to lead anything else, so I'm thinking he's either Zapdos or Rotom. I actually don't really remember what happened, so this is kind of just like in the heat of the moment. So turn the music down a little bit. Alright, so we're going to start off. Pokeboy's going to lead his Orbeetle, as Test Basic's going to lead his Rotom. So pretty close, accurate on both sides. As we first the heavy duty boots, very good for just getting that item down. As he goes out into Dracovish, solid play. If you did want to just overheat there, you get off a lot of offensive pressure off, because Toxapex, even though it does resist, is not really taking a choice banded Vicious Ren, but Toxapex is probably the best answer you can have other than like a water absorb onto Dracovish. So pretty solid there. As he actually sets up a nasty plot, which really sets up a lot of offensive pressure, because now Thunderbolt I don't think kills, or it might get really close, but Dracovish is pretty bulky, so I don't think this will kill, but it will do a lot. And if he just Volt Switches out, he gets a lot of damage on Dracovish. But he does have to fear Scarf, and he is Boots, so he's not like Pasho Berry. Not that that would even matter at all, because obviously Dracovish would probably kill through the Pasho Berry anyway. I'm expecting either a Volt Switch or a Hard Switch here. I don't think he would risk even just this being Scarf. So he's going to go straight into his Toxapex as he goes Vicious Rend. And based on that damage, Test Basic now knows that, yeah, this is definitely a Scarf Dracovish. That does not look like band damage. So he can pretty freely switch in Toxapex every time, because with the Regenerator, it's really not going to be taken very much. He's actually going to eject button out, which is really, really smart, because not only does he gauge damage on the Dracovish to see if it's band or Scarf, he gets the immediate Regenerator after. So basically it kind of allows him to go into his next mon with ease, even though like Serperior will have to take this Vicious Run. Pokeboy's not going to want to stay in here against the Serperior. So he's going to go out into his Orbeetle. Good play there, as Testbasic is also going to make a good play and just go for the Glare. I think Amoonguss probably was the safer option. Number one, I think that Amoonguss will basically halt any variant of Serperior there is. Not really much Serperior can do, even if it subs. If it wants to, like, it can't really subseed. It can try to like Leaf Storm up and hit like with a normal type attack, but Amoonguss does have access to Sludge Bomb, which I'm assuming that Pokeboy is running strictly for the Serperior, or at least for Serperior. So yeah, Orbeetle's gonna get glared, which kind of sucks, because now it can't as reliably deal with something like an Umbreon, or even Megazam, which is really unfortunate. So it's gonna get glared there. It's not the worst thing in the world to get glared, but he's actually gonna Mirror Coat, which is really, really cool. And good on Pokeboy to just go for Sticky Web, because like what is Serperior doing other than like Leaf Storming? So Mirror Coat's really, really cool there. And going for something like U-turn here would be even better for momentum, as he does go for the U-turn. So really good plays on both sides here. Superior is just kind of like, or Zay is just kind of gauging that damage. So really good plays. Back into Dracovish. Now we're back at square one. But the thing with Pokeboy is, or thing with Zay is, he's a very easy switch into Toxapex right now. Sticky Webs is nice though, because it does mean that Zam is going to get that speed drop, which allows something like a Moltres to do absolute work versus his team if something like Umbreon and Toxapex get weakened. So he's going to switch back into his Toxapex pretty freely. If he goes for the Psychic Feigns, he does not, unfortunately. He might have oh, okay, cool. Great, love that. He might have Bangleful Bunker here, which could be really good for just getting that, but he's just going to switch back in Aggron, which I think was a little preemptive. Like, I don't think you ever want to switch in a Mega Aggron before it Megas, because then you're going to just take unnecessary damage with its poor offensive typing, unless it's like a normal attack. So, yeah, Aggron is going to potentially get burned here. It doesn't get burned, but I do think that was a little preemptive. I think you have a lot better switch-ins, like something like a Moongus, but I guess maybe you wanted his Rocks up, so good on him, I guess. I just think that he could have gone a lot better Mons. He could have frisked the item on Toxapex. Actually, no, it's a reject button, so that was dumb of me. But yeah, I guess he didn't really have a good Scald switch in. Could have honestly just stayed in with Dracovish and just hit Fish's Rend again, even though he is risking burn. Toxapex, like, it basically forces Toxapex out and you get a free Fish's Rend the next turn. Like, that is absolutely insane, because he basically is forced to go Superior and take that damage, even though he's probably not going to take it very well at all. So he's going to go Earthquake on the incoming Zapdos. Good play on Zay. Good on Pokeboy to trying to just catch that. But, you know, it is pretty obvious, so it is kind of got to make sure you take those better. He's going to U-turn, reveals to be Life Orb on Zapdos, which is really cool. It is going to start taking a lot of chip if it's going for stuff like Brave Bird, so Zay has to be careful with hitting those. But getting that U-turn off means that something like Mega Zam can come in, and now it basically can just wreak havoc. Though I do like Pokeboy's team for dealing with Mega Zam, because you have stuff like Orbeetle and Moltres, so that he can't just spam Psychic versus your team. And a Mega Aggron means that he can just like take its hits. I'm assuming that Zay Testbasic. I would say Zay is going to go for something like a more of a passive move, something like a Nasty Plot. But Berserk is very cool too. He just goes straight for Psychic. Solid play there. I don't really think that there was anything wrong with that play, because if he stays in with the Moongus, tries to do some shenanigans, something like Spore, that could be really bad. So I think Zay made the good play there, just hitting the solid hit. Pokeboy is going to try to get some damage off with his Moltres. Going to be getting a good amount of damage off on his Rotom. So if this isn't Pain Split, this is going to be absolutely, it's pretty good, because obviously Rotom is solid versus his team. Obviously you do want, you kind of do want it around, and taking damage on this Moltres isn't the best. So I think maybe staying in for the first one, or hitting the Fiery Wrath, and then maybe switching out into something, so I would say like a Orbeetle or something, because you know he's not gonna go for Overheat there. Could go for Nasty Plot. So again, I don't think it was a bad play either way. So I think Fire Dance was just fine there, but you got to be careful. So now he's in kind of a predicament, because as you can see, Pokeboy's team, he really doesn't have a good switch in for Zapdos, bar like Landorus, and you know, it gets a +1 attack boost. So defensively, it doesn't really switch into it at all. So he doesn't really have a good defensive switch in. Honestly, he could just click Brave Bird here with absolute free. So he actually goes close combat there. I don't think that, I guess it was maybe the play if you wanted to like save damage on this thing, or save health on this thing. But I think Brave Bird was pretty much the play always there. Maybe if he was trying to go Aggron, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to take extra damage with on Moltres. But he's gonna U-turn, get an absolute chunk off with U-turn, and now he finally goes Umbreon on this thing. Gonna make the good play, because now Psychic will not do anything to this Umbreon. So not only does he get damage off, but he basically gets Umbreon in for free. So he's gonna play around. He's gonna get that Landorus in, and this is basically a game of just switching in, trying to find a way to deal with this Umbreon, which other than Dracovish, he doesn't really have an answer. So Yeah. He's going to Spore, but unfortunately with safety goggles, he is going to avoid that. So basically this is just going to be a easy Amoonguss check. Very cool on Zay's part to do that because Umbreon is a pretty passive mon, so getting Spored is not the best for it. But it will get poisoned, which with Synchronize will not do anything to Amoonguss. So good there. I don't know if he has Heal Bell or not. We'll find out. He's going to Gig Drain, get a little health back. It's going to be a little bit of a stall fest here. But overall, it's pretty close. I do think that Zay is getting a little bit of momentum just because, like, you look at his mons, other than, like, they're both pretty weak with both their mons. Zapdos is getting weakened, but you do see that Mega Zam that's just kind of looming over. So you do have to be careful of that. And he's going to get the poison on Sludge Bomb again, which kind of sucks for Zay. But Pokebay makes a good read and stays in with his Amoonguss. So he's going to just kind of take that. And yeah, now Umbreon is basically in range of the fact that it cannot Wish again. So yeah, it's going to basically just die. But now he can get into something like his Mega Zam or his Rotom and just take that extremely well. So he's going to live the Sludge Bomb, which kind of sucks for Pokeboy, but now he's going to get that +2 overheat off and just absolutely murk his Amoonguss. Now, I do think I think the better play was sacking something like Orbeetle. Orbeetle really does not, I guess, versus something like Toxapex, it does, if he has like Recover, it can do stuff, but I do think that sacking something like Orbeetle is better because now you can get your Fishious Ren Dracovish in after and just like click buttons. Like, what is Toxapex doing after? Comes back in on the Fishious Rend, takes 30%. Like, I don't know. I think that was a little bit. I don't think he should have sacked his Amoonguss, but like, what are you gonna do? Especially since like Dracovish is at full, you honestly could have just gone that because it 4 times resist overheat. It's not gonna take it well. But if you didn't want to sack your Orbeetle, I think that would have been the better play. But hindsight is 20/20. Like, you don't really know. I just think Amoonguss would have been really good here because it means that Zapdos is forced to click Brave Bird. Now it's 1 mon less that it doesn't even need to click that versus since it start spamming close combat versus everything. So yeah, now he's gonna go Dracovish, get the free switch. But now that Toxapex is just gonna come in for free. He's going to go Outrage. I don't really like that play whatsoever. I think he obviously knew that something like his Toxapex would come in. But I think Fishious Rend was just always your play because now you're locked in with Outrage. And yeah, now we can just Baneful Bunker and have a field day because you get confused and all that. So now your Dracovish is on a timer, and that is never good. And it can just kind of spam Recover versus you. So yeah, not the best situation to be in. He's going to Scald. No burn, which is nice. But unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for Zay, he makes the correct read and switches in on the Earthquake from Aggron. Yeah, I think like this is definitely now it's switching to Zay's favor because now he's losing answers to Mega Zam. Also, with Sticky Webs gone, he is running the Defog, which is actually a really cool tech because he has Nasty Plot. So Nasty Plot, Overheat, Volt Switch, Defog, really cool tech on Zay's part, means that he doesn't have to worry about his Zam potentially losing because he's Sticky Webs down. But yeah, just keeping off that offensive pressure was really good. Would have been better. Pokeboy kept doing that, but he is playing a little safe now, and now he's trying to predict Toxapex, but unfortunately it's a little too late on the Psychic Fangs. I also would have switched after the first turn with Psychic Fangs because number 1, he could have just Baneful Bunkered, and number 2, he could have just he's gonna recover Baneful Bunker. So I think switching after the second Psychic Fangs was probably better, or the first Psychic Fangs was probably better to preserve HP on Dracovish. So Orbeetle does have Recover, which just makes that other play where he sacked his Amoonguss probably a little bit off. So I think that would have been better to just stay in with that. But he's going to go Landorus now on the Overheat. Again, I don't know why he didn't just sack something like Aggron, because Aggron, I guess for like the superior. but like your Orbeetal's already like very full health. Like I guess saving Aggron as a sack, but that is the sack that you want to use, because then you get the double down on Aggron and Rotom, and then you're. So I guess he's gonna save it for now, but he took so much unnecessary damage on the Landorus that it's just not even like, it's not even worth, you know. He's gonna go Thunderous Kick. Cool tech there. And yeah, so now he's gonna go his Toxapex, and this thing is just gonna absolutely wall everything, which is just not what you want. Yeah, I think saving his Amoonguss would have been so nice for that, but I guess again with Orbeetle there, it's not the worst in the world. He's actually gonna go Dazzling Gleam on his Orbeetle, expecting the Moltres switch. So unfortunately he's not Scarf, so Zam kind of just gonna clean house with a little bit of unfortunately with the para, it is gonna be unfortunate there. I don't know why he's clicking U-turn here, but he's gonna try to bring it back with the sticky webs, but unfortunately he is running double defog, so that is gonna be really unfortunate for our boy Pokeboy. So yeah, it's not looking good, because now he just kind of clicks Leaf Storm, and yeah. So it's gonna end with a superior little mini sweep at the end. Very close, actually. I do think with a couple of different plays with Pokeboy, he definitely would have had it. I think Zay had a really good prep. I think Pokeboy actually had a really good team for Zay, but I just think that unfortunately, due to a couple plays sacking Amoonguss, it just kind of came down to Mega Alakazam just pressuring with Psychic, with its moves like just being so much faster than everything, and getting rid of sticky webs because the offensive pressure was let up a little bit. So that's the first game. I think it was pretty good, pretty fun game. So we're going to move on to the next one. So this one is going to be Free versus Jutun. Both very good players. Free and Jutun have both been around for a while in the community. Jutun I've known for so long, since like 2016. So Free I've known since I've joined this league. So both veterans to the format. So we'll see how this one goes. Free's got a really solid team with Dragapult, Corviknight, Tapu Bulu, Tentacruel, Electivire, Mesprit with Delmise, Hitmonchan, that's what I need. Raikou, Tapu Fini, Heatran, and Hydreigon. I'm thinking that leads here. Jutun doesn't really have a set lead. Like he has a very balanced team. So like you would expect something like a Heatran, but something like a Hydreigon would also be a good lead. Maybe even something like a Raikou. Overall, I think something like maybe Hydreigon would be best, because you would expect something like a Mesprit lead, or maybe just the offensive. Like what is Free leading? Tentacruel maybe for the expected Heatran. I don't know. Both of them don't really have set leads either. What we're gonna find out. He's actually gonna lead the Dragapult. So Jutun makes the right, or not the right, but the expected lead and goes Hydreigon. Now this is interesting, because if this is Scarf, then this could just be an immediate very good situation for Jutun. However, I don't think that they would risk that this early in the game, and I'm sure Free has a way to beat Hydreigon. So it's interesting what's going to happen here. He's going to go Fini as Dragapult to end up just going to go for Dragon Darts. So we do know this thing is probably physical. Could be mixed, but knowing that it's physical is very good to know. I think doubling on Free's part probably would have been the safer play, and maybe like doubling it to something like Tapu Bulu would have actually been extremely good for Jutun, because then you know if he's Scarf or not, because if you switch first, then you know if he's Scarf, or at least depending on your speed investment, like as long as you're faster is what you find out. So I think doubling there was really good, and Bulu kind of covers most plays that Hydreigon go. It's like it's never going to go for a what's it called? It's never going to go for anything other than a dark move, a dragon move, or U-turn there, even if he is Scarf, like if he wants to go for U-turn. But again, I don't think they would risk that this early in game. But Free's just going to go straight up for the Dragon Darts, just try to get some offensive pressure on. Unfortunately for him, Jutun is going to make the good play and go right into his Feeny. He's going to U-turn after. Reveals not to be Life Orb, so not going to be a huge power from Dragapult there. It's not going to be choiced either, so probably going to be something like a Dragon Dance set, maybe with U-turn. Maybe just it's going to be it's like Willow something. I don't know. Not versus this team probably, but it's probably Ghost move with Dragon Dance maybe. Maybe lefties. Could be cool. Frey's going to go into his Tentacruel. I don't think that's too surprising. I mean, it basically just hard walls Feeny, unless it's running like some weird psychic set. Feeny's going to be leftovers. Tentacruel's not, so it's probably some kind of berry, I would presume. And then he's going to make the double into Mesprit. I'm not really sure what he was trying to do there. Maybe trying to catch like Hitmontop or something. I don't really know what Mesprit does for free. Maybe he just wants to get up his rocks. I'm not really sure. But I think just clicking an attack with Tentacruel would have just been better. You're not going to get Scald Burns or anything, but, going for something like Sludge Wave, especially versus Raikou, is going to be really nice just to get some information on it. And knowing that, just looking at the composition of this team, I don't remember. I think I kind of vaguely remember, so maybe I remembered he's Assault Vest or not, but it looks like this would be Assault Vest. So we'll see what happens. Scald, this does have the chance to burn because Mesprit is levitating, and Misty Terrain doesn't affect things that are levitating. So he's actually going to go for Light Screen. So I guess we found out why he went Mesprit there, trying to get his screens up and come out pretty scot-free with his Mesprit there. Fortunately for Free, he is going to get the crit with Anchor Shot. That would have done probably 10, if that, without that crit, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. He's going to go for the Tailwind, I assume, and go for the U-turn here. And we'll see what he ends up doing. So he's probably going to, he's going to go right into his Tapu Bulu, which is really nice because, like, what is he really switching into this? A Wood Hammer would do absolute massive damage to anything except Heatran. But Jutun's going to have a little bit of a hard time switching into this thing. If I were Jutun, I'd probably go into Delmise, maybe my Heatran. But he's actually going to just stay in and go for D-Gleam, which I find really odd. I guess if he wanted to go Hydreigon, but, like, why would he ever go Hydreigon on a Bulu? Like, I feel like that would be his last play. So, cool tech for sure. But I don't think it was a play at all. I think just going for Wood Hammer or something that would have done absolute crazy damage. Unfortunately for Jutun, he is going to mix the Toxic, which does suck, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really is going to matter. It just means he's going to stay and get a free switch. So, kind of nice there. He's going to make a good play and go for Body Press, which normally would have done more, but unfortunately, he is going to get the burn there. So I guess it makes up for the Toxic Miss a little bit. Yeah, it's not too unheard of to get Flame Bodied, but it does suck. So good on Jutun for rocking Chocolate Berry though. I don't know what else Free has on his team that he would rock that for. I actually think Mega Camera Up would be absolutely insane in this matchup, other than like Scald Raikou. But like, where's his Mega Camera Up switching? Like he basically would have to play around like going Delmise plus Hydreigon with Earth Power plus like maybe Heatran if he wants to predict a fire move, which I don't think he even need to click that often. So yeah, I think Camera Up's gonna put some work this game at it because he does have a Mega Camera Up. Free does. He's going to try to get up rocks with Rapid Spin, going Tentacruel. So, good on Free for knowing that, but unfortunately, Jutun is going to catch that, and he's going to go right into that Delmise. So, unfortunate there, but Free can still bring this back. It is definitely starting to look more in Jutun's favor, especially with this knocked item. But they're going to go for the double knock. Delmise is going to lose its Assault Vest, which is good to know for Free, because now you know, like, okay, he's not, like, banned or something, or I guess you would know that from Corviknight, and it's honestly not even that much of a threat, but actually no, it's not Assault Vest. Tentacruel was Assault Vest, my bad. It's good to know for Jutun that he is Assault Vest, because now you know he's not going to be like hitting like Toxics on your something like your Hydreigon switch or something. I don't know. I don't know why he would switch it anyway. But we're just going to keep this battle going. He's going to switch into his Raikou. Pretty standard. Good call on, what's it called? On Jutun. He keeps clicking Scald. I'm assuming because if Electivire gets that speed boost, it's going to be a very, very scary mon to deal with. Maybe I think Free might make the double here now into his Electivire. But no, he's just going to keep Scalding. Just get the burn, which is good for free. So he's going to go into his Hitmontop again as he goes for Rock Tomb. All right. Don't know what he was expecting there. Maybe just trying to get the speed drop on something like his Heatran. I don't know. I don't know why he's not just like in this matchup. Tapu Bulu with Wood Hammer is absolutely insane, and Jutun's not going to go willy nilly into like high Heatran, because if he makes a high horsepower read, then literally you just spam Earth Power like you would spam Wood Hammer insanely freely. So I do think that was not the best play, or maybe not the best prep on Free's part. He's not playing it very he's not playing very badly at all. He just has to get back in this game somehow, and it looks really difficult with all these, with the Burnmon and a lot of stuff going on. And he's just going to sack his Corviknight, which, I mean, what else were you doing? Like, you don't really want to switch in rocks. It's looking tough. It's looking really tough. I think Electivire is really your only chance of bringing it back, but you can't even hit that main Earth Power or Earthquake with that hard-hitting Earthquake with Electivire. So he's going to go into his Mesprit. Going to go Light Screen after, so cool to get that Light Screen off. But unfortunately, it's all he's going to be able to do. Before his Mesprit is taken out by the Magma Storm. Fortunately, he did hit both of them, which is slightly in Free's favor to not happen. But now he's going to finally go for Sludge Wave on his Tentacruel. And look how much that does. Free, why weren't you hitting Sludge Waves before? I don't know. But Tentacruel's a pretty powerful mon. So I don't know why he wasn't hitting that earlier. But he's probably going to hit it again and do a good amount to this Raikou. Except he's going to do 23. So that does reveal that he is actually, what's it called? Assault Vest. Or at least like very close. And he's finally going to go his Electivire, finally pull that trigger. And now it's looking kind of good because Earthquake's going to be hitting max damage. He's going to go Hitmontop, try to get that attack drop as he goes for Thunder Punch, and it's going to do nothing. That sucks. I do think whittling this Hitmontop down would have been a little bit, like, you do want to be able to do that. Honestly, a special set would have probably been better. Maybe like Earthquake for Heatran. I don't know what you would run. Maybe like Thunderbolt, Psychic. God, I don't even know what else. Thunderbolt, Psychic, Earthquake. There's just a way to hit this Hitmonchan, or Hitmontop harder. I keep saying Hitmonchan. This Hitmontop harder. He's going to miss another Toxic, which is very unlucky. But I don't think it really matters, because at this point, like, yeah, he gets a crit, but he also gets burned. So, you know, it's like, that sucks. Who knows? So, yeah, it is what it is. And Stomping Tantrum does absolutely nothing. But he is going to miss the Magma Storm, so kind of nice there. Jutun's either trying to preserve his differential at this point, or just trying to make sure his Heatran, he doesn't just sack his Heatran. He's going to Volt Switch out. And he's going to go for CC. Pretty solid play. I think now we're going to see the Dragapult here. Or no, he's going to go into his Tapu Bulu. I don't know why he's not pressuring more with Dragapult, because, you know, it's not going to be doing anything with Dragon Darts, but just being able to get that offensive pressure with it is going to be really nice. I don't know. I think the prep here is definitely interesting. I think Jutun played, like, he's not doing anything too crazy here. Just run, like, AV, Raikou, Rocks, Heatran. So it's like we got, like, the super spicy prep versus the really, like, the super spicy prep versus, like, the pretty standard prep. Even though Delmise is not a super standard mon, so I don't want to come off like I'm nagging on him. I mean, it's definitely working for him. So yeah. So yeah, at this point, it's looking like it's pretty much over. Hydreigon's just gonna kind of come in. He actually was Colbur, so makes sense why he stayed in there. But with the flinch, it it is not it's not going to be enough. So it sucks because I think with obviously he would have Dragon Darts would have killed his Hydreigon, but this Hydreigon actually was Scarf, so it was Scarf Hydreigon versus Colbur Dragapult in that first turn of the game. So if Jutun wanted to pull the trigger really early there, then unless he got the flinch, he would have not come out on top there. So Jutun is actually going to win this game 4-0. Probably should have been 3-0, maybe a little bit less, but I do think Jutun had the upper hand most of the battle. I do think Free kind of struggled with just getting any offensive pressure. Like, what was his setup mons? He had Dragapult with Colbur, so probably a Dragon Dance set. I guess that was his win con, hence why he was saving it. But, like, his Corviknight was a Tailwind set. I guess his win con was just chip everything down. But versus a team like this, you're going to need a lot more firepower to do that. So, yeah, I think that Jutun played. I think Free played decently. I think he played pretty well. I do think there were a couple of misplays there, but unfortunately, I think it just came down to prep. I think there wasn't really a coherent win con for Free in this scenario. So anyway, we got to move on to the next battle. We have Ant versus DashingSceptile. So this actually was a really good game. I actually really enjoyed this one. Not my favorite game of the week, but it's definitely number 2, maybe number 3 behind the Krakenation game that you guys will not see. But this will be a fun one to watch for sure. So we see the Whiscash, which is really, really cool on DashingSceptile's part. And if you look at Ant's team, he actually doesn't really have a great switch into to Whiscash. I guess Gyarados and Golbat, but like is Mega Venusaur, I think, no, that's not Mega Venusaur, it's regular Venusaur, it's Mega Gyarados, which actually makes it so Whiscash does a little bit better this game. But yeah, overall, like, it seems pretty even. I'm thinking either a Mew lead, maybe Skarm lead on DashingSceptile's part. We'll say Sceptile from now on. And Ant really doesn't have a solidified lead. If he's doing anti-lead, maybe like Jolteon just to hit something. Maybe he wants to lead like, yeah, I'm thinking like what is Ant's lead here? I don't even know. Maybe Venusaur? I don't know. We'll see. He's actually going to lead Azu. Okay. I guess all right. Honestly, like, probably his best lead matches up pretty well versus the rest of his team, bar Serena. But you'll see in this game that it actually does have some spiciness. So he's going to Encore. Actually really cool if his Skarmory wanted to just set up rocks. But I don't think he would have done that in many scenarios just because, I don't know, I guess Skarmory isn't extremely important in this game because it really only deals with, like, Venusaur here. So I guess it was, like, a little important. I guess if this was like a Bandit Azumarill with Liquidation, maybe that would have 2-hit KO'd. But I don't know. I guess going in for rocks there would have probably been the better play. But I think Sceptile makes a good read and goes into Serena, which kind of covers all bases unless he goes for even if he goes for Belly Drum. So I think Serena was just the overall best play here. So good on Sceptile for realizing that. I think Ant had cool tech, but it definitely depended on, it was very situational for that Skarmory just staying in and clicking rocks, which I don't think it really was doing anyway. I guess maybe if he was going to pull the trigger and he had like Whirlwind Skarmory go for Belly Drum straight up, then it would have been really good because then he could Encore Belly Drum. So he's actually going to go U-turn here, which is really, really smart because if he's Sap Sipper, you're going to find out right now. So he's going to Belly Drum here, and yeah, that U-turn is going to come in clutch as he's going to go for Psychic Fangs. And this Play Rough actually doesn't kill, so this will reveal to not be Huge Power. Could be Thick Fat, but it's definitely Sap Sipper for Serena, which I think is really cool. So really cool on both players' part. Cool and Ant for this set, I think is really cool to bring. Like Sap Sipper Azumarill at +6 is really threatening. So he's gonna go for Aqua Jet here. He's gonna have the tech. So for this situation, it is best case scenario. As he's just gonna go for Aqua Jet again versus the Lopunny, and just dish out a good amount of damage to it. So looking good there, and unfortunately for DashingSceptile. He is going to not pick up on the KO with close combat. So, unfortunate there. However, he is going to go into his Serena and just click U-turn again. So, makes a good play. If what's his name? If Ant wanted to be really spicy, he could have gone for play rough on the switch. I don't honestly think he lost much from doing that, because either he lost his Azumarill anyway, or like he loses his Azumarill anyway, and if he makes a Serena play, would have been really spicy. And if he had stayed in with low punny there, it would have been a little annoying. But at the same time, you do have like a Golbat, so I don't think that was the worst thing in the world for you to do. And you were gonna lose Azumarill either way, so yeah. Anyway, Azumarill is going to go down. That Sap Sipper Azumarill, really spicy. Loved it. But now we're going to go into the situation yeah. Also, that Serena was really cool, too, because I was watching this game in the actual game, and I was like, that was actually really smart, because if he goes for something like Power Whip, it prevents something like a Volcarona from just setting up and doing absolute crazy stuff to his team. Which, by the way, Volcarona in this game, like, fucks. Like, this thing, it does so much to everything. You have to be very careful of that Volc. So, he's going to go Wish Cash, which I do like for that Volcarona, because I don't know if it's Rindo or Life Orb or what, but this thing setting up D-Dance on this Golbat's face is very scary. So, he's going to set up D-Dance as he's going to go Shadow Ball. I didn't really understand this play at all. I think he just should have Brave Birded again, because, like, what is Wish Cash doing other than, like, resting here? Or setting up, or, like, resting afterwards? So, like, Shadow Ball maybe to catch, like, why would he ever go Spectrier? Like, I don't know. Very strange that he went for Shadow Ball. Like, I don't know why he even has Shadow Ball, to be honest with you, but it's Ant, so, like, you know, gotta expect the unexpected. And he's gonna make the insane, not even insane, it covers both Golbat and Venusaur, but it was a good play, because now you lose your Venusaur. So, I honestly think just staying in with Golbat there was a little bit better for you, because, like, Venusaur is much more important, I think, to the winning of the game than something like a Golbat is. Even the Golbat is important. Then again, your Spectrier can just come in and just do some damage. I do think Mega Evolving the Gyarados would be best case scenario. Also, Oblivious is really cool because it prevents Intimidate, so I like that. Yeah, I just think staying in with Golbat was just 100% the play there. And also, you can come in afterwards and just go your Jolteon. I don't know why that wasn't the play that was made, but, you know. So, yeah, he loses Venusaur for basically nothing. And he's going to go Gyarados, which is going to take 74 from that Life Orb Earthquake. And he's going to set up, which is better than nothing. Like, you're going to... if this is a... Like, that Serena's going to take nothing from that Crunch, even though it's a crit. Like, I feel like that should have done more. But, yeah, so Gyarados, unfortunately, is just going to die. But Dragon Dancing was the better play there, because obviously you get more damage output afterward. But, yeah, he makes a good play and just U-turns. Unfortunate that Gyarados... I actually think not Mega Evolving the Gyarados would have been better there, because it makes it so that Serena has to go for something like a Power Whip to kill you. And this low punny seems to not be running priority anyway, because it would have gone for it versus the Azumarill. Or I would have gone for it versus the Azumarill if he had it. So, yeah, kind of sucks, but I think that would have been the better play. He's gonna Mega Kick, which is like, what the hell? That's 75% accurate. So, I mean, you definitely risked the biscuit there. But you kind of had to do that for that to win. So, yeah. If that missed, I think that would have been not game because like Skirmy's here with Rock Slide. But he's going to go Custap and get that body press off, which is so crappy for that, for Ant. But like if he went Golbat anyway, it would have been the same scenario. Like he would have been able to kill it with anything. Because like if he knew he was Custap, then he could have just like Brave Birded. Or if he didn't know he was Custap, he could have Brave Birded. But because Sceptile had, because he had the Custap, he could have just roosted on this Golbat. So now it's basically game. Like there's really not much that Ant can do to win this game other than him missing a triple axle. He should have gone for Brave Bird there. I don't know why he roosted. I guess he was just kind of like trying to debate moves, but he would have been at an extremely higher, much higher health. So yeah, now he's gonna get a special attack boost. Doesn't matter, he would have killed Jolteon anyway. But yeah, it's going to do a good amount to this Spectre here. But it's not going to be enough. So DashingSceptile is going to win this game 1-0. Very fun game to watch. I do think Ant made a couple foolhardy mistakes. But again, I do think that he had a really cool prep. I think the prep was very much there. I don't know what this was, the Shadow Ball on Golbat. Maybe he did more to Spectre. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to take recoil. Overall, solid game. I think both played pretty well. I think they both had a really cool anti-team on. Like the Wish Cash for Sceptile and the what's it called? The Sap Sipper Zoomrail for Ant. So really fun game to watch just because there was some cool anti-meta mons, but then everything else was either really standard or just dying. So yeah, well played on both sides, but Sceptile definitely played really well around what Ant had to bring. So good on him. All right, so this is my favorite game of the week. BC versus Jigglypigs. So this game was really fun to watch. I didn't watch it live, but to watch just in general because of the end game. You'll see. So Jigglypigs has a rain team, and BC has this very, very good balance team with some great mons like Mega Arrow, Zera, and Starmie, plus the Bulk and Quagsire, Mandibuzz, and Weezing, the Cancer mons. So we have like Cancer, some Metastasis, some Absolute Stage 4 Cancer mons, and then we have some like Absolute Chad, Bacteriophage, like Chemo. We got the chemotherapy and the Metastasis. It joins really well together. Sorry if any of you were offended by that, but I'm expecting something like a Pelipper lead on this side. Just get the rain up, maybe a Ferrothorn. But like he doesn't really have any mons that, like, maybe Weezing is running Fire Blast, but like he doesn't really have mons other than like maybe Zera that are running fire coverage. So I'm thinking he's just gonna want to get the rain up, get that set up as soon as possible, and just kind of let things go crazy. So that's what I'm expecting here. He's gonna lead Ferrothorn, as he's gonna lead Zera. Kind of a predicament for more so Jigglypigs because Zeraora can potentially Blaze Kick here. I'm thinking he's probably running close combat just because obviously with the rain, unless he's running like a utility umbrella to try to overcome that. But yeah, so Zeraora is definitely a threat for this Ferrothorn. I'm thinking maybe he goes like Grand Bull here on like the switch. He's actually gonna Volt Switch, so BC I think made the good play in predicting that Grand Bull, but in Ferrothorn's case, it's not going to be enough for the it's not going to be the best play. So he's going to stay in here. I assume he rocks. Yep. And Mandibuzz is a good switch because you know that after you Volt Switch, he's going to probably set up Rock, so you get that free defog off. He's probably going to Toxic. No, he knockoffs. Cool. Knocks off Boots, which means that Mandibuzz is going to be a little bit less of a threat. But he has Taunt, so he means he can't Leech or Rocks after. So basically forced to switch. Get a Foul Play, which is a little bit tough. I think maybe if he had U-turn, go for it there, but he didn't have a U-turn. So he could have made the double, but you don't really know what he's going to double into. So I think maybe doubling there on BC's part would have been better. But again, hindsight, I think Foul Play was a fine play. Get damage on the Ferrothorn because you obviously prevent Leech Seed recovery. yeah, it just gets damage off on pretty much anything. I think he probably would have gone Pelipper, if anything, on Mandibuzz, but yeah. So he's going to go Quag. Really not much you can do there. Zapdos is going to make the great U-turn play and get that rain up. So yeah, things are already starting to be in motion as Protect is going to be thrown off. So he basically knows he's going to switch here, like he would never stay in and go for the Scald here and out of the potential Water Absorb chance. And he's going to Whirlpool. So very cool set on this part. We'll see how this turns out. He's probably not running Grass move. He might be. We'll see. As he yawns. Okay, so he actually going to go Yawn Whirlpool, which means he basically gets a free sleep on this Ferrothorn because he can't double out. So that's really solid. And now all he has to... The only thing he can't do is he just stays there. So now he's going to get up the rocks. I assume BC is going to get rid of these rocks. Yep. As he stays and burns a turn of sleep. Going to go Weezing here. I don't know if he's rocking the Fire Blast. But his last move is Gyro Ball. So good to know because now you know that Quagsire basically walls this thing. Even though Knock is not fun for it. It is going to get a free Whirlpool Yawn off every single time. He's not running Grass move, so very nice there. But he's going Flamethrower. He's not Utility Umbrella. It's going to do literally nothing. But now the rain's gone. So rain is gone, and I think that was yeah. So he's Damp Rock Pelipper. So he's going to Leech here, get some health back from that Weezing. And he's going to go right back out to 0 Aura as he gets up his rock. So this is really not looking great for BC. He's making a lot of great plays, but unfortunately, he's just not, like, this team is just way too good with the Ferrothorn. Really nothing has happened other than Zapdos been taking a good amount of damage. BC's getting slowly chipped, but it's definitely not in a bad spot. He's going to defog. Unfortunately, that doesn't defog Leech Seed like it does Rapid Spin does. So, yeah, he's going to get confused, and he is going to break through, though. Though with Leech Seed, Zapdos is now at full HP. So, sucks there. He didn't really have a switch into Zapdos. He basically was just sacking Mandibuzz. I assume he'd probably want to get some damage off before that, so that roll kind of sucks. But he would have died either way if that Hurricane hits. If it didn't, then he might potentially could have gotten some damage off beforehand. But now rocks, if he gets them up, are there to stay. So, unfortunately for BC, but now he gets a free switch into Arrow, which looking at his team really only has one switch, being Grand Bull. So we'll see what he ends up doing. If he's something like tries to like DD, Stone Edges misses. So really sucks for him. Can't even get a gauge on Grand Bull's item / spread. But he does have a very free switch in Weezing there, so nothing too crazy. Gonna go Pelipper. I assume something like Sludge Bomb is coming off, but no. Oh shoot, wait, my laptop just got unplugged. Hold on. Alright. I don't know how well you can hear me over here. But we're back at it. So, he's going to make the really good double into Starmie. Starmie is a great Mon versus this team, and you'll see why. So, he's going to go for Hydro here, as when he goes Ferrothorn, boom, that does sick 59%. That's insane. He's going to make the double into Kingdra, which I don't think that was the play. Like, I mean, I guess it was because it, like, takes that ×4 and gets offensive pressure, but, like, that's an analytic boosted Hydro Pump regardless. Like, you saw how much that did to Ferrothorn, which was most definitely defensive, and this is definitely not. So, taking damage on Kingdra, I don't think was the play there, but granted he missed, it was the play because now he gets offensive pressure on his team. So, I think it's just staying in with Ferrothorn there and just Leech Seeding was probably the play, but I guess 2 Hydro Pumps would have probably killed. I don't know the calc on it, but I mean, he was at what, 41, and then after lefties, he was 47. You Leech Seed, he does probably like 30% with Hydro. Takes Life Orb Chip and Leech Seed, so I don't know. I think maybe saving, getting health off there. But Draco's going to do a lot. Can do absolute mass to that Quagsire. Basically, 2 Dracos will kill, but he does have the Protect. I think that was revealed earlier, so nothing crazy there. Now Draco's a roll, so he doesn't probably want to risk that. It's probably a roll very much in BC's favor, given he just recovered there. Maybe he was banking on it. Maybe it wasn't even a roll. So He's going to try to get offensive momentum back, or momentum in general back, by going Ferrothorn. But he's going to Whirlpool, so it's not looking great because now that Leech Seed is not getting... He's not getting really any HP back from that Leech Seed. He's just getting that 10%. Gonna set up rocks again, which are here to stay. And now he is a sleeping Ferrothorn. So, yeah. And again, BC makes a phenomenal play and makes a double into Starmie, which is just so good. If he's a ballsy man, he goes Thunderbolt here. And he does. So that's an analytic boosted Thunderbolt that actually doesn't do that much. So maybe Hydro Pump would have not done anything. But that Hydro Pumping missing does suck, because he probably would have been closer to like 16% after that. Maybe more. Maybe it would have done like 20%. Getting G-Pulse there. Much better play, because now he can hit that nuke of a Draco afterward. So yeah. I think, yeah, Draco would always kill here. So he's actually going to miss, though. So it does kind of make up for the Hydro Pump miss. And now Kingdra's basically a dead Mon. So, he's gonna miss the Whirlpool though, which sucks. Yeah, that would have been really nice, because then he would have been like 40, 47, 48% with that Ferrothorn. But slowly this Ferrothorn's getting back to full HP, so I guess I stood corrected. I honestly think both these players played really well. I'm just trying to throw out ideas of what would have potentially led to a better position for them. Like, no, not even being judgmental towards their plays. But again, he keeps making these phenomenal doubles into his Starmie. As he goes Pharaoh, and Hydro Pump hits again. So yeah, this Pharaoh is just not, it's just not really the counter to that Starmie. I don't think that Ice Beam mattered too much. It probably killed at that point. But that crit does suck if it did matter. So he's going to go Swampert now. He's finally going to go, all right, enough is enough. And yeah, so Earthquake is probably his best play. Yep, play there. And he's just going to stall up the rain a little bit. He's going to go Quagsire. Hit that Liquidation. Water Absorb. Bada bing, bada boom. Probably going to protect to stall out rain even more. But no, he yawns. That's crazy. He yawns, which honestly was probably the better play, because Swampert probably wasn't doing all that crazy amount with Earthquake. And he misses another Whirlpool. Very unfortunate. I think, seems like that thing is like 70% accurate. Could be. But his Grand Bull got out of Toxic. So he's Toxic Thunder Wave. Super Fang. Very cool prep there. And yeah, now he's basically forced to sleep. Which is really unfortunate. He's probably going to recover. Yep. Get that HP back a little bit. What is going to be 59? Solid. Definitely able to recover that off for sure. And now his Weezing is back in. And he's going to go Pelipper. Does he make the double again? No, he goes for Memento. I don't know if I love that play. But I guess he was trying to set up with his Aerodactyl next. So, makes sense. Because, like, this is a D-Dance Mega Arrow. So, makes sense there. Question is he faster? He is faster than a +2 Kingdra, which is crazy that that's even possible. Also, this dual wing beat does literally, like, what? What in the world? That does so much damage. That did literally 86. That's crazy. And now you're like, oh, well, shoot, this game's over. Swampert outspeeds everything on BC's team. It's wraps. Like Starmie's at 36. Like, the zero is gonna fall. Like, maybe it's Shucka, but yeah, he's gonna Volt Switch. Insane play. Now, if imagine you just stayed in there. He's like, all right, yeah, cool. Like, I outspeed this thing anyway. The amount of like mind games that you have to have, like, obviously he's either Scarf or Shucka. I'm assuming Scarf, because like you want a reliable way to deal with Swampert after you're like, you don't have a reliable way to get faster than it. So I think Jigglypigs knows this, and he's like, all right, this thing is probably Scarf. I don't want to sack this. BC makes the absolute craziest read of his life and goes for Volt Switch. I'm like, all right, this is a game. This is definitely a game. So he's gonna go with Starmie here. It literally has, I think, a Life Orb hit and a Rock Switch, like 2 Life Orb hits and a Rock Switch in left. So if he's Recover here, Honestly, a Hydro Pump here would still do crazy amounts. He's going to go for the safer play, go for Ice Beam. Makes sense. Like, what is he going to do? And now he's probably going to go out into his Swampert, because, like, what is he going to go into? And that Starmie is probably going to want to save that because it does have still 1 Life Orb hit left. So you're going to want to keep that around. And he's going to go into his Quag and just die. So Quag dies. And here it's like, okay, no way you, like, it's another 50-50. Well, I guess it's not 50-50 here, but it's more in the favor of Jigglypigs because, like, BC basically has to Volt Switch here. Like, his play, if he Grass Knots, like, I guess a Scarf. Like, if he Plasma Fists here, he loses, like, obviously. So he has to Volt Switch or, like, make a crazy read and go for, like, Plasma Fists on the, like he has to Volt Switch here. Like, I don't know. If he Grass Knots and Grand Bull comes in and it's still Scarf, like, what does he do? He's, like, doubles into Starmie? I don't know. But Jigglypigs is going to switch again, either trying to preserve differential or, like I guess Grand Bull, I guess Starmie does clean, but it only gets 1 Life Orb hit. So, like, if you have 1 sack, you're fine, and you're up 1 Mon. So I think you can afford to stay in with your Swampert, I guess, like, because then you just go, because, like, if he goes for, like, Grass Knot, you are forced, like, you can just kill it. Like, I don't know. I think Jigglypig should have done is stayed in. But BC, knowing what he has to do to win, he goes for Volt Switch again. Bada bing, bada boom. He goes back into Starmie. Oh, what the hell? Like, and is he recover? He is recover. So, yeah, I don't know. Because I think Pelipper would have still put in work. Yeah, I think BC knew what he had to do to win, and Jigglypigs kind of played into it. So it's like, you know, what can you do? And now Starmie's in a great position because, like, he goes for, I think, honestly, I don't think T-Bolt kills. I think he has to go for Pump here. But, like, he has a full HP Pelipper, but it dies to Thunderbolt. And he stays asleep. So, yeah. And he's going to even play even more risky and just go for Recover again. Which he basically has to do because he has to try to put himself out of range of Swampert's hits. And now he goes for T-Bolt, and it... Oh, never mind. I guess it just kills. So... yeah, now Jigglypig is in a really bad spot because now he can just T-Bolt and yeah, he just Earthquakes twice and yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy. And now BC pulls out the win because of the Scarf Zero Aura. That was an insane game. Absolutely insane. That endgame was really crazy. I think, obviously, if, what's-his-face, Jigglypigs had just stayed in there and EQ'd at any point, he would have probably won. Then again, T-Bolt from Starmie always killed, I guess. So I was under the assumption that it didn't, like, kill, it didn't kill Grand Bull, but, like, he couldn't recover and beat, like, Pelipper at the same time. So, I don't know. I guess him stacking Swampert would basically sack his way of winning. So, I don't know. That was just a crazy game. BC played immaculately. Volt switched, what, twice? On a Swampert? Like, I don't know. I'm relishing. I hope you guys found that game as entertaining as I did. Maybe I'm just, like, old and things like that just are way too good for me to pass up. So, anyway... This is my game. 15 Cha-Cha versus my team. I'm going to be a little bit more... This is already an hour-long video. Might as well make it a little longer. Who cares? But looking at Cha-Cha's team, he has a couple leads, I'm thinking. Obviously, Swampert is the most obvious lead. But I think stuff like Alola Ninetales has its place as a lead. Because, like, with my team, like, what am I leading? I don't know. Like, I could lead Cobalion. Cobalion is a good lead. Swampert matched up well versus that. If I lead Blastoise, you know, it's not terrible versus that. Swampert's basically his best lead. But I figured Blastoise would cover every single lead he had. So I went Blastoise as my lead. I did really want to lead Cobalion, but it doesn't really do all that much back to Swampert. And I did kind of want to preserve it for hitting this. Looking at his team, he had an Arctovish too, and I was really nervous about that. So I did kind of make a weird team. Or not a weird team, but I had some weird things like Gale Wings Talonflame for that, which honestly could have come in clutch anyway. But yeah, so very hyper offensive team. This Sheer Force Landorus too, and yeah. So we have the Swampert lead, and we're gonna just rock with it with turn 1. He's gonna lead Swampert. I'm going to lead my Blastoise, Armored, Colossal, Titan. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna Dark Pulse here. Basically, I don't have Water Stab. If I did, I would have clicked it here, but he has no Blastoise switch-ins. Like, he has no Water Resist on his team whatsoever. Why am I not running Water Stab, you might ask? Well, that is because I just didn't have room for it. I needed Aura Sphere for his Arctovish because it was the only way to kill it. I needed Dark Pulse for his Gengar and his Gothorita that he had. Plus, I needed Flash Cannon for Alolan Ninetales, and I needed Rapid Spin because setting up rocks with Swampert was very free versus me. So I wanted to be able to get rid of those and get the speed boost. So he's going to Toxic me, which is like, it is what it is. I'd rather be put in a timer than just chip down. Because, you know, chipping Blastoise is pretty easy. He's going to Flip Turn. And go into his Mega Scizor. So here we are. I'm thinking he's either going to go for Knock, predicting my Talonflame switch, U-turn, just trying to get the hell up out of there. I don't know what his Scizor's gonna do. Like, he's probably just gonna try to stall me out of Toxic, so maybe he just roosts here. I don't know, but either way, I never stay in here with Blastoise. Like, it can do a good amount with, like, Dark Pulse, but he's probably Spit F. So, I don't want to go Landorus in case he knockoffs, because that would be his second play. So, if he does want to click knockoff, I can go Cobalion and get the attack boost. So, I'm going to go Cobalion and potentially get up my rocks, which I do, as he roosts. So, that's really nice there, as he's going to U-turn here and do literally nothing. But he's going to get a little bit of chip off, and he's going to go into Cinderace. Now, I was expecting either a Court Change here or a Pyro Ball, both of which my Blastoise can live too. And if he goes for a Court Change, it's really good for me because then I can potentially get up my, just kill, like, get a ton of damage off, or Rapid Spin and then get off rocks and get the speed boost, because he wouldn't want to stay in versus Cinderace with Blastoise in. So I basically, if he like wants to Gengar, solid play, but like again, like if I go for Water Pulse, he wouldn't risk that, so he'd probably go into something like his Scizor or maybe sack his Swampert, and I get a speed boost on Blastoise, which makes it really hard to revenge kill. And if he Scarf Gengar, he would have to reveal that in order to kill me, or maybe I'd be at a range where I don't know. We're saying theoreticals. Basically, I think he's either going to Pyro Ball or Core Change here, so I go Blastoise. Also, Blastoise is getting low, so like it's not the most important mon in the world to me. Looking at his team, I probably should have preserved it more, but I can't stay in with Cobalion here. It still has usage. I could have a Shuckle Berry on this thing, so it can still live a hit from something like a Dragon Dance Flygon. So we have to be careful of that. And I can't live a Gyro Ball or Pyro Ball. Wanted to go Talonflame really bad here, but I also wanted to preserve Gale Wings because my team is really under prepped for Scarf Gengar. It's gonna be honest, I am. As he goes for Pyro Ball, now that damage tells me he is Adamant. He's Adamant Pyro Ball. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. I don't know why he would run Adamant because I do have a Cobalion, but he did want the extra damage, so good on him. Outspeeds Lando. If I was Jolly Cobalion, which I was, but I also had defense investment, so I could have just gotten a ton of damage off on his Cinderace there. And honestly, I got up rocks. I really should have just stayed in there with Cobalion and just close combated. Something like that. I probably would have been better off for me. But oh well. Neither here nor there. Doesn't mean he can't spam Sludge Wave on his Gengar if he has that. As he's actually gonna reveal Protect on his Cinderace. So though I lived another Pyro Ball, pretty much 100%. I think that was a max roll Pyro Ball, so it did actually tell me he was Adamant, not Jolly. So good to know there. Good damage roll to just know. But he has Protect, so unfortunately we won't get the information, or we won't have a chance to miss Gunk Shot. So really cool to run Protect. Also weird though, because it does potentially stall out his Hail, which could be good. So who knows? But he's gonna go U-turn here. And yeah, I basically gets in his Gengar for free. I didn't want to go Persian straight up, and Landorus was probably my best play. I should have 100% go Landorus, because then I could have Psychicked and but I didn't. I was worried he would have Icy Wind. It was like he can run Shadow Ball. If he runs Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, he basically hits my entire team. So he had room for like Sub and like Nasty Plot. Like he had room for Thunderbolt if he wanted to run that. He had room for a lot of stuff. So I was worried about that, but he ends up just being Scarf. I knew he was Scarf. Like I knew 100% he was Scarf. But I did want to scout just in case, because if he was like, I think Specs Shadow Ball would have maybe killed, and it does a metric heck ton to Persian. I don't think he would be, because it kind of doesn't do great against Talonflame. We're gonna go Persian, and he stays in, which tells us that he is Scarf. Basically, like he's not worried about a Scarf Lele at all. So yeah, he's obviously Scarf, but unfortunately for us, ladies and gentlemen, he is going to crit us, which actually sucks, because it means that we don't have a sack. So yeah, our Persian dies, and that is that. And Persian was actually really good, because it allowed us to, we had Taunt on this thing actually. I think we had Taunt, Knockoff, Burning Jealousy, and Parting Shot. So yeah. And knowing he's Scarf, we could have easily gone in Cobalion and then just either Volt Switch and then close combat after if he went Swampert. Like it was a free turn. But no, we crits us. So yeah, in a hyper offensive game, crits like that basically are the end of the game. We can try our best to try to win this, but now we know that he is 100% Scarf. So at least that's good to know. He's actually modest Scarf too. That crit was guaranteed if he was modest. If he wasn't, it was like a slight roll not to kill, but it was like basically killing anyway. But yeah, would have been good to know his set either way. So if he was like Specs or something. But we're going to go Psychic because it covers both plays if he wants to randomly stay in. If he wasn't Scarf. So we're going to Psychic twice and just get rid of his Flygon. Bada bing, bada boom. I probably should have gone Cobalion again, because it just kind of shits on Scizor. In hindsight, probably the play, because then I get a Volt Switch off, and if he wants to stay in, we can CC. So yeah, but we stay in Earth Power, so I should have preserved Landorus' HP. I think that was kind of foolish of me. I also don't know why he didn't just go Alolan Ninetales. I guess he was kind of scouting if I was maybe Scarf. I don't know. He should have probably just gone Alolan Ninetales there, but it is what it is. And now we just kind of go there. He kind of allowed me to win. Also, Bullet Punch goes through terrain. I was like, oh wait, yeah, because I'm flying. I was like, the synergy. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get Tapu Lele because it stops all Ice Shards. No, it doesn't. So yeah, he's gonna Aurora Veil. I actually had Brick Break, which would have been absolutely crucial. Like you guys don't understand. Like if I had Brick Break, it would have made it so that he would have never been able to set up Aurora Veil, which meant that my Lele always killed. Like my Lele can always just basically just wreak havoc on his team, because then I just go Cobalion, and if he wants to like Shadow Ball, I can just Gale Wings Talonflame the next. Like it's just so good, so good. But yeah, I was running Brick Break. I changed it for Rock Polish last minute because I was like, oh, it's better for revenge killing after. But now I'm basically I basically Swords Dance here. Like there's no other play I can make. So yeah, Swords Dance. Basically because I need to be able to kill his things, kill his mons. So yeah, if I wish Gale Wing still had the old effect it had. But yeah, so here's the predicament we're in. So he's a Scarf Gengar. We know this. He's probably modest because it outspeeds Scarf Lele, timid Scarf Lele. So here's the dealio. If he goes for Thunderbolt, it will not do anything to Lele. It will do like 40, 30, honestly 30%. It does nothing. And I can just go for Psychic, and I can kill his Gengar back. If he wants to do that. If he wants to switch into his Cinderace, he will probably sack his Ninetales and then go into something else. And we still live after a while. So if we go Lele on the Thunderbolt, we are at a very good spot to win. If he goes Shadow Ball, which I'm thinking he will because, well, obviously if he goes Sludge Wave, then we go Cobalion after. So I don't think he'll go Sludge Wave ever. It just would be a dumb play, I think. So it's either Shadow Ball or Thunderbolt. And I was thinking, okay, he knows my only way to win is by, no, because like I know he has Thunderbolt. I know he has Thunderbolt. But if I go Cobalion, then I live, like I have a very good chance to live 2 Thunderbolts. I don't have a good chance to live 2 Shadow Balls. So I was like, okay. In hindsight, if he was clicking Thunderbolt, I should have always gone Lele. Yeah. Should have always gone Lele. And I guess in hindsight, if I was gonna do one of those things, I should have gone Lele, because then if he was clicking Thunderbolt, that's the play I would make. So it's unfortunate there. But I go Cobalion, which by the way, I think it was a misplay on my part. I should have gone Lele. Hail ends his turn. I would have been able to kill through Veil. He goes Thunderbolt, gets a max roll on the first one. I'm with 100 HP. He gets 2 max rolls with Thunderbolt. 2, bro. And then we can go Volt Switch into my Lele and absolutely murk him. Like, what? Come on, bro. And we still have our sack. We have our sack in what's it called? Cobalion. We have our sack. Because then we go Psychic, do absolute mass, we'll kill his Ninetales, because we kill his Ninetales after Psychic. Then he brings back in his Gengar, probably goes Shadow Ball. And then, yeah, because we Volt Switch, kill through Psychic. Because in this turn he would go, because the turn would end, he would go into his Ninetales after to sack it off. And then he would go, so we'd go Ninetales on this turn. There'd be 1 turn of Aurora Veil left. And we could sack Cobalion. No, wait, yeah. We could go Psychic there, because obviously Thunderbolt wouldn't be doing anything. And then I'm trying to think. Because, yeah, we would sack Talonflame, or sack that. Then we could sack our Mega, or our Cobalion. And then I guess you could always just Sludge Wave then. Because then we're going to die to Hail anyway. And Talonflame is like only a small but I guess, no, because Talonflame has a chance to live Sludge Wave. We found this out. So yeah, he goes Ninetales, sacks it off, which sucks. And now we can go for Sludge Wave, and I'm like, all right, well, I basically lose anyway. Might as well just take my loss with grace. And we live like, bro, like, oh my god, it's like ridiculous, because we would have been able, like, we would have had one more Mon. And like, his Cinderace has to rely on hitting gunk shots to win. Would have been a good thing to have bulk up here. But we also do so much with Lele, it's not even funny. So like, it would have come down to a bit. It would have come down to gunk shot. But there were a lot of misplays by me. So 1-0 is not a bad way to go out. Sorry I had like blanked for like a minute there trying to figure things out, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please share it. I don't know. I don't care what you do. I just wanted to make this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So that being said, I'll see you guys for the next one when we do week 2. Peace out, guys.